Bonjour, bonjour à tous et à toutes. Bienvenue pour cette nouvelle session des Artists Talks by the Eyes, pour cette avant-dernière journée de la programmation à Paris Photo cette année. J'ai l'honneur d'accueillir aujourd'hui pour une session en français et en anglais, ou plus précisément en anglais et en français, quatre jeunes pousses, quatre four merging talents, qui ont été identifiés dans le cadre du programme Carte Blanche Étudiants, qui a été créé il y a 6 ans entre Paris Photo, Picto Foundation, qui est le fonds de dotation des laboratoires Picto, et SNCF Gare et Connexion. Donc ce programme vise à identifier parmi une soixantaine d'écoles de photographie et d'art visuel en Europe de jeunes talents issus de ces écoles à qui l'on propose de venir participer à Paris Photo, où ils rencontrent, en présentant leur portfolio, un certain nombre d'experts du monde de l'image et où ils bénéficient d'une installation dans une gare parisienne, en l'occurrence la gare de Lyon, où vous pouvez rencontrer leur travail. So just to make a very quick introduction in English, I am very honored. I don't have any mic. No, it's okay. It works again. To welcome today the four winners of the 2022 Carte Blanche student program. So it's a selection of merging talents from more than 60 European photography and visual art schools in Europe. And so we invite them, after being selected by the international jury, we invite them to participate to the fair, where they can present their portfolio to a large part of experts, and also to an exhibition in Paris station. So when you go to Gare de Lyon, you can see a huge exhibition with their work. So it's very interesting, this program, because you can see what kind of merging talent is revealing today in this year, what are the trends in photography. Donc ce programme est vraiment intéressant parce qu'il permet de voir petit à petit les talents qui sont en train de se révéler à l'avenir. Je vais commencer par, so ladies first, comme on dit, honneur aux dames. I will start with a first guest, who is Alessandra Letta. So please, Alessandra, can you join me? Alessandra, so I will speak in English, but I will do a little introduction in French. Alessandra Letta est une étudiante qui nous vient, enfin qui est italienne, mais qui nous vient de pas très loin de l'Italie, de l'université de Bâle en Suisse. Alessandra développe un travail, on va dire, post-documentaire, ou à la fois documentaire avec une dimension partiellement conceptuelle, puisqu'elle revisite un certain nombre d'images du passé pour nous faire mieux comprendre le présent. So Alessandra Letta is an Italian photographer, an Italian artist, coming from University of Basel in Switzerland. And your work is, I would say, maybe a post-documentary approach, where you are mixing documentary photography with archives and a kind of a conceptual approach. So could you tell us about your project, the Unmovable Mover, that you present here in Paris Photo?
Yes. So first of all, thank you for being here. And yeah, like you said, my work started from a series of pictures that I found in various trips to this market in Switzerland. And I was really interested in the story behind this body of work that was almost really strange to me, because I don't know to this day if the images come from the same place or are shot by the same hands. And I was just questioning myself how I can really bring these together and almost blur their origin. So I was researching a bit on trying to find traces of these pictures, and I didn't have much information to them. It was only a date that the it was written behind these photographs. And I started imagining almost a visual narrative behind the pictures, and I put in I staged some other photographs like this one that you see, as to refer to the space which which these photographs might belong to. And we are in a factory in the mid 70s. So I really almost like a writer, I started writing a story, and from which the characters you could see in the pictures that I found. And so I worked in two ways. The first way was to directly rework the images that I found by scanning them and rephotographing them. And the second way was to stage new images and to make direct references to the production behind this imaginary factory and these spaces, these offices. So this is how I worked. And the one main question for me was also to confuse traces in the pictures, not only from the ones that I found, but also my own, because I imagine one day if someone like me finds all this body of work, I like the idea of not being able to understand where they come from, and adding more layers to this narration.
So in a way, you are trying to rethink the past in the present. What would it mean for you?
Well, for me, I think I asked many questions about the photograph as a document, and how much time should pass before a photograph is considered document, and also this quality, that this tangibility in found photographs, which is, we can say, like a whole genre of photography. So I'm always attracted to this ambiguity and this not knowing where they come from and the history behind them. But at the same time, I think it's a whole treasure that we can find. And it's really important to me always to bring the work into the present. And because I think, of course, the past says a lot about our history, and it's really important to me to make continuous links between past and present.
And in a way, everyone can tell his own story through your images. You know, we can imagine everything. So you don't write the whole story when you make your photographs. So you wait that people are themselves thinking to write that story through your images?
Yeah, I also like this this aspect of my work, and it's the reason why my series is not really, doesn't have an order, because I imagine that people would go through it almost like really like a narrative, like a book. And so you always had your own opinions and your own gaze to what you're seeing. And so the order is not important. And that's also why I remove people from the photographs that I find, because in a way to universalize that same situation, that same framework. And this is something that I'm working through, and it's really, I wanted it to be present in the piece, in the work.
But when you found these images, they were already black and white or color photographs?
They were already black
and
and
white.
Yes.
And technically, can you explain a little bit? Because you said that you are scanning and then rephotographing. So it's not digital work. You scan, you print, and maybe you give up part of the image, like the face, or you do that?
So I mean, the work is digital because the pictures are digital, but I work in an analog way in the sense that you just described. I always start with the found photograph, and based on the setting, I proceed in different ways. So, for example, some of them are just rephotographed, blurred, so the out of focus is not pointed on directly on the image. Other I really almost incise on, so I cut the paper and then rephotograph the work. And others yes, scan and then glitch through, like moving the image around in the scanner, or putting a really bright light on, and also always also playing with the materiality of the print and the glares. So that's how I'm achieving that look.
And with this kind of project, what is your objective? You spoke about a book or an exhibition, or you see your image, or you see your project at the end?
So I'm currently thinking about turning this project into a book. So I'm looking for writers and editors and publishers, because I would really see this work as a little book, with a real narration, with a text added to the story. So that's what I'm.
Actually, I forgot to say that the 4 photographers from Carte Blanche Students Program has a booth just beside this place, where you can, after the talk, go and see them and discover their portfolios. So again, I mean, the objective of this program is to allow you and them to meet together and to speak about their work. Last question: who would be your inspirations?
So I think my biggest one in general is Christian Patterson, who is an amazing artist, also working with crime stories and finding a link between found objects and found photographs, and kind of blurring the lines between traces and proof, which is something that really inspires me, and I think his work is really helpful as an inspiration.
Okay, and this is your first main theory?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so bravo. Merci beaucoup, grazie mille.
Thank you everyone.
And you can have a seat, but I think my daughter took your chair.